Okay, here we go. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing good today. You had a good week. Um, could have been better for me, but things are going right now. So, hello, hasta la vista. Do we have other people here in the room? Don't hesitate to say hello, of course. It's a pleasure. I have the pleasure to be your host today. The French Bowl, as every Friday, 4:20 UTC. Oh, 4:30. Just 10 minutes of nice beats to be sure everybody receives the notification on time. What's the music link? Hello, name unknown, and DM is here as well. The music is it's just a playlist from Spotify in the focus playlist. During the waiting room, it was the what's it called? Beats to sync, which is a bit more, I don't know, we call that not C-trance, but a bit more electro. And now I am on Coffee Beats, which is probably a bit more chill, slightly. Oh, and the music name during the intro was what? Well, it is big to say. Just think. It was Intrudo from War Rocks. Here I can share you the link. Hello, Nick. And that was in the comment the music during the intro. So first thing first, I am on the lower time frame here because I did grab along, so I just wanted to highlight this. We'll see if this move down is really finished or not, but we do have a valid impulsive move down, potentially finished here, right at 3, 4, 5. So if that's the case, well, we can see some retracement up to 27 and 700. But going on that, not too greedy. I already took a take profit. That was a grab along on the SFP here. So already on my take profit, and we'll see. It's not certain that we finished wave 4 or just wave 5. So don't be surprised if this go a bit lower. But we are basically still in a range, right? Even with the crazy price action from last Tuesday, which is a bit more than a deviation. But we are back in the old range, and we're holding here on value are low. We have a bit of, well, we had a bit of short FOMO. Now we have a bit of no short FOMO again here. A little bit of both now. Founding is coming back into positive. Things can turn around again, and maybe we will have another opportunity here at Golden Pocket. Come back, but yeah, I won't. As always, I prefer to start with a higher time frame. And just coming back here on the daily time frame for the context, etc. We have a few counts. AD, we have, well, an invalidation from a bit of my hypes that I had during Tuesday pump, right? I was away during the day. I saw the Grayscale news and saw the crazy pump going on, so I starting to get a bit hyped by it, and I went a bit aggressively trend following at first, but we quickly had an invalidation, so I flipped short again. But worth mentioning still, because you know, I stated like many, just a simple 200 daily moving average that you're already aware of, but we just retested it, made a bearish retest of it, right? During Tuesday pump, we did close above for a day, but for 2 days, at least for the simple, I don't know anymore. Yeah, this simple one. Or exponential. I'm always getting confused with my stuff here. Yeah, EMA. And that one is a simple moving average. Anyway, basically the same. But we closed above for a day or two, and we reclaim below it. So it's just a bearish retest. You know, that's a level, not necessarily the most precise one, but a good one to define the trend, right? And so we are in a bear trend. So, of course, a bit less downtrending recently, but overall, that's where we are. So the count didn't really change since last week, since my last public live stream. There is a few, well, there may be a few things that change a bit, because we have new options now, but generally they remain the same, right? We either have a wave 1 here and are potentially finishing a flat, right? Wave C. Or we are in an impulse here, and in that case, potentially finishing wave A, or about to. So the thing here that we had is that during that pump here, we did overshoot the standard target we should expect for wave 4. You know, looking for the 50% retracement for a grab of liquidity on the lower time frame highs here from a range. We went beyond that. That said, retrace the golden pocket, it's still a valid wave 4. We did not invalidate it because we did not overlap wave 1, right? If that's the case, is that the right count? We're still looking for a 5th wave now. 5th wave that can still remain a truncation or lower low for derivative. In fact, with I'm not gonna spend too much time again explaining all that, but your wave 3 could be finishing here, can still have a valid truncation here. I don't think it is worth spending too much time unless you ask me how to read this part. You still have 3-4 option probably very valid, which all of them lead to simply the same thing, that we have a swing high here and we're looking for another swing low, either higher low on derivative or lower low. But that's what I'm looking for now. Still, in fact, or again. And it's gonna be the same for the flat ID, right? Because we're either finishing a wave A, either finishing a wave C. all of that will depend of the news, I believe. You know, I'm gonna talk a bit about that again. But yeah, you know, I have a few level I'm keeping an eye on. Simple weekly level here. 24,300. Monthly level a bit lower, 23,150. Wow, 138.5 here precisely. But might be slightly different depending on the exchange and pair. So 24,300, 23,140, and around 22,160, 21,800. Still a decent, yeah, about $400 area here. Now, if I take the measurement here of wave 1 projected from wave 4, it gave us a target here for the 5th. More about the monthly level, 23,140. Or the weekly above. So that should be the preferred one, right? Either front run of the derivative lows and making a truncated 5th here, either a sweep of derivative lows on the monthly. I am still keeping the lower one, even if it is beyond the target for 5th, because, well, it's just basic horizontal support, and, you know, we can have overextension in that kind of price action. So I would not consider this any invalidation, and it might be another count as well. But for now, the most compelling remain this. At least for the bullish case, we may have something a bit more bearish to look at. In theory, we still have a valid bullish option here with truncation, as I suggested last Tuesday. In our Twitter post and Discord. You know, as long as we don't breach the 25,260 low, you know, you might still consider this a valid low and you continue here, but it really doesn't look like we're gonna hold it. Well, we'll see, but yeah, we have a pretty clear impulse move down, so it doesn't look like something finished here. Now I can add something that I in fact talked about a bit earlier in the week. Just the idea of a WXY, right? Because at the end of the day, well, we're still holding into a range here, right? Still holding, in fact, value area where I'm just gonna pull another one. But we're still at value area low, we're still at the lower weekly level here with, for now we're still holding that support. We didn't really lost it yet. So, you know, in a range, we test the low of the range. It's not stupid to be looking for a retest of higher level, but with the fact that we retest already POC and the 300 daily, it's not necessarily what I'm looking for. That said, you know, price action can quickly get volatile in this period of time. So yeah, my main idea is just to look for a finish for this 5th wave, and we're gonna zoom in to see what looks the most sensible. They're still unknown. We can have a much more bearish option here. It will be the idea that we are just extending our third wave here, you know, and that can extend down to almost new lows, right? In theory, we have extension here at about 16k. And the fact that we retrace to the golden pocket here, well, we have a valid 1-2 here potentially. So, you know, we could be seeing further capitulation on that. I think we will need a bit of bearish news to pull that kind of stuff, or bearish context for global economy, which might pop out anytime. You know, there is uncertainty around China and everything. So, you know, if next week we start to see a big drop on stocks and abroad markets, well, that can be the narrative. Or if we have something happening with, I don't know, Binance or Tether, whatever, you probably read or heard a bit about this kind of FUD already. But you never know. That might happen, right? We don't really know what happened inside the house, so if something breaks out, well, we know what path it can take. We have valid paths for that. I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen, but you know, might keep that in mind just to just to be prudent as always. You know, we should always be prudent, but what I'm emphasizing is the fact that I will not just set bids here and bet the farm on this, average it down, and just no stop losses, and see this just fall apart, right? I'm ready to buy. We'll have alerts if something happens, but yeah, we never know, right? Anything can. And the same way, but inversely, we may have one narrative that brings us down a lot more than what one could expect. We also could see a reversal sooner than one could expect. You know? The same way that we had a fucking pump here, almost out of nowhere, out of a flat price action. It just fly away on a pretty bullish news. Well, if tomorrow, well, it's not going to be tomorrow, but if tomorrow there is an approval of the spot ETF, well, we know what's going to happen, right? This pump how you consider it big or small, it's relatively big, but also relatively small. It was not about an ETF approval, but it was about an ETF, spot ETF becoming even more likely because the SEC lost its trial against Grayscale, right? So if tomorrow the SEC come and say, yeah, okay, well, we're gonna approve an ETF, well, thing's gonna fly 10 times. We're gonna have a God candle 10 times that, right? And it can happen. I will not say any time because they did delay it. I think in advance, in fact, or their schedule a few other ETFs this week. So surely that means they're still not ready, even if they lost their trial. But they do have 45 days now to take a stance about the Grayscale state. They can either do an appeal or and bring that back to court, or they can say, yeah, okay, well, we made a mistake and we we're gonna have to approve it. Well, let me find the tweet here, because with my English I'm not gonna be very more helpful that this. You can look at Pre-Apple's IQ here. Did a nice thread about it, explaining a bit everything, right? But yeah, both parties have 45 days to appeal the ruling. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I'm not gonna pretend I know. One could guess they will go for an appeal, but it's not certain. My personal stance is it's almost a certainty that we'll get that spot ETF sometime this year or beginning of next year. I think the first final deadline they have is on the 10th of January next year. And so I think they will accept something. And that's gonna be a narrative for the next pump, right? It's obvious. I know. I believe it's worth mentioning, especially in the context of a count here. I try to trade the chart more than the news, but sometimes the news is so relevant that it is becoming as important, if not more important, than the technical analysis at all. And we can try to find confluence between both. Now I like the stance that Luke took the other day. Basically, it's what he thinks is this gonna be delayed as much as possible, but this news event gonna probably be used to keep us into volatility. And even if we believe that there's gonna be an approval, well, probably the goal for the big guys is to wreck as much people, take as much liquidity, build as much liquidity as possible during that time. So we might not be out of the wood from this kind of price action, right? What we should be looking for, obviously, is a liquidity level. So that's why weekly is still a liquidity level, because well, it's significantly lower than where we are. So on derivative, you have liquidation here already. It is a lower low on spot. Monthly level here is a lower low on derivative. So that's going to be the interesting level, from a bit lower if things get a bit more aggressive. That's pretty much it. And if we get a bit of a pump here, well, what are the liquidity above us? It's a bit far away, so it's not sure that we'll get that, but the first liquidity is the 27,600 high here, right? So the swing high from Thursday. Obviously there is a high from Tuesday. At that point, I don't see any reason why we would take that high, right? You know what it took to get that pump out. So to be able to pump again above that level, it will need, I don't know what we'll need. We need something. And at the same time, we have a pretty clear impulsive move down, which might be not finished, right? With a pretty clear corrective move up here. So in theory, I don't see why we should go above. We already retest our key level, POC of the range, 280. So I don't see reason for why we should go above, right? And if I have a liquidity level that I could be targeting, will be this intermediary one, where there is most likely stop losses still, and liquidation as well from the one that are just branded and shorting without stop loss, right? But we don't have to reach this. We can just look at a golden pocket retrace anytime we have a bigger pump, and we will have like a monthly level or something else. I think it's more probable that we have a lower low. So Elliott Wave alone, this tells me that we go lower. Now, it's also the kind of structure that can fail often when you have a clear three drive up and 5 down. Why so? Well, I don't know, maybe because market is more driven by algorithm than emotions nowadays, and Elliott Wave is more based on emotions, sentiments. But with the context of what we were testing, what happened, I think it's decently safe to say that high gonna hold at least until we see lower low. You can say, well, we are closer to the low than the high anyway. Let me check. I'm not too late on my comments here. Where is it? 01 CME at 20k will be closed 100%. Okay, we'll check at CME and beat. Hey Jenny, oh, cute, good to see you. So A 21k, B 30k, and C 16 20k. Yeah, basically the simple path we can look for as a simple ABC, right? You say A21 and B 30k basically, and C back to 16k. I mean, yes, but I'm not so sure about such a strong wave B. Right. Firstly, we'll have the important resistance at the 200 daily moving average still. That's going to be lower than 30k. Secondly, during the bear trend, we tend to have pretty shallow retrace and more of a dump, right? And sometimes we get something a bit stronger. So maybe we'll get something a bit similar, but if you compare here, still didn't really break the high. Double top, because that's also I've been some comparing the pump that we had with this, and I think it's pretty sensible because that's a similar kind of price action, just a big gold candle out of decently bullish news, just fade away. So you take then you take liquidity and you start to print a nice impulsive move. I'd say I'm still in the belief that that was supposed to be the low. We have a good structure here, and that was a pretty clear impulsive move. But without COVID, I'm not sure we'll have reached that low. But maybe we'll have some kind of event like this as well. And I don't have price action here for the previews, but I would not be surprised if things turn out to be less clean, because this is also what you can look for, a clean zigzag structure, basically. It's your clean A, B, C, a good wave B, a good wave C, you actually look for even your 1-1 extension perfectly. It's kind of rare that you have very clean pattern like this, especially in the corrective, that's gonna print on a high time frame. And the goal here for the next few months for big guys is to grab as much of liquidity as possible. So are the market maker gonna print a clean zigzag kind of price action? I kind of doubt it, and I will not be surprised if what we end up to do is something like this, and we end up bottoming there. Overall, that's gonna still be my goal, to take the 19k low. But yeah, we could be in some kind of, for example, did I show that one? WXY, where is it? Where is it? I had another count. Well, anyway, we draw it, it's not a big deal. You know, maybe we have a W, we print an X, and we go for another kind of ABC for a Y here, and we come back for a W, X, Y, X, and then we go again for a Z. Always many short waves or longer wave. I can't tell you exactly how it's gonna play out, but I'm afraid it's not gonna be simple to read and count from an Elliott perspective. And again, why I'm kind of emphasizing stakes and more simply just based on liquidity and high time frame level, and then read the lower time frame structure as we do. Otherwise, how I approaching, right? Even if here, for example, I'm looking for 5 waves, well, it makes sense for me here to be looking for longs here, right? Because I can read this time frame. I have 1, 2, 3 reaching 161.8. I have a valid wave 4 here, maybe a valid wave 5. Well, I think we can go lower still, but you get the meaning, right? I can approach this alone, right, and see what it's gonna be. I'm gonna see later on exactly, but most likely just a wave 1 or a wave A if we're in a WXY, right? And I'm just looking for a wave 2 retrace, which I don't know yet where it's gonna be, but at some point when this finally reverse and get a bit more clear picture, well, I will approach this part alone and this part alone and try to read it clearly, right? But here, so yeah, finishing 5 waves from the high, or in the process too, we took interesting liquidity here. Now there's still liquidity resting from that low. I think is reachable. That's why also I'm not yet quite convinced the move is done. We're seeing diminishing volume, we're reaching oversold condition, negative funding, but it's creeping up quite quickly. And in fact, this here, this kind of open interest we're opening so much here, I get a bit more iffy. Might want to see a bit lower price action. And so big range value are high, so that's a range from end of last year, right? Or end of last year, from half of last year, that was in June. Value are high of that range, basically. Why is it at the very high? Oh, because I took it from, yeah, it's normal, okay. I need to check something. Did I move the level by accident? That happened sometime. Let me check again. We're gonna take I probably took the preliminary support here. Let's take just that. No. Yeah, okay, we have one lower here. And if we take preliminary support, it's gonna be a bit more aligned. Oh, and that was for the whole price, yeah. So I'm gonna move this back for just a lower range. which makes more sense. What was I saying already? Yeah, so we do have still liquidity here, and this might end up just being the first wave. Or, as we know, we have a target here weekly, a bit lower. And if I pull the full target here for a fifth, almost there, almost. $1,628. Yeah, we in theory we could see a bit of capitulation here over the weekend. You know, it's depending. Maybe we didn't even finish that fourth wave. Can try to zoom a bit more to see if I can read that third wave more precisely. Golden pocket, liquidity taken. That can be a decent long here. Try. I did hard because I did back a bit. Coming back what I took probably. It's not gonna be a successful trade if I get stopped. It's possible. Anyway, let's come back on what I wanted to look at here. If I take my first impulse here, it seems clean enough, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was 3, 1, 6, 7, 8, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expanding diagonal here. I don't know if you can see it. You know, we have you have 1, 2, A, B, C as 3, 4, A, B, C as 5, expanding and overlapping barely, almost. So it's, yeah, very, very valid, and we reached 161.8 with enough precision here, just a week below the target. So that's what you can want to look for. Now, should we extend this a bit more? I mean, it's probable. I didn't really come back into the 1 minute here. And 2 and 3. Yeah, that other one is good. But it's not impossible to add more extension into that. And you know, that could be something like this, and we put this lower. Or without overcomplicating things, this could be part of a flat. It's pretty much here that you should hold bulls. No, it's not looking pretty. It's barely starting to get liquidated, and I'm not seeing much of short FOMO here. We'll see. Oh yeah, without overcomplicating things. Maybe this is a 4, and then we have a 1, 2, or 5, and 3, 4, 5. Come to our lower target. Oh, lower target. It's possible. I can read that. I can. Let me think a minute. I was thinking about something here. Yeah, what I wanted to say, because here it's not really easy to get a short on that. Not very sensible, but I could maybe close some of my shorts. Really. I kind of missed the take profit here. Again, where is our liquidity on this lower time frame? It's basically these two swing highs, right? So if we do come back here, I might be willing to get a short here. Or probably I won't, because it's gonna be the weekend and I'm gonna do something else here. I'm not gonna look too much at the chart. But if it gets on Sunday, maybe I will, if you get a bit of deviation above these two highs, it can still be a good short, either for higher low, either because we'll be still in some kind of fall. But yeah, I'm afraid that we'll see this breakdown first. Where is my YouTube comment again? It's gone again. Yeah, okay. Happy Friday, Swooping Hawk. Hope you're good. So, even if you hold this as a low, indeed as a fifth, we're gonna be our lowest target. Or 2. Have the straight 2 here as an interesting last time. It's possible we not. It's difficult to. I'm sorry. It's difficult just to have to predict 3 coup in advance here. It's kind of tricky, but if it were to hold here or about here, and we do get to our 26.5, so yeah, that's gonna be a nice short deviation here, SFP, either for this as an A, and you come back to retest, I don't know, POC, weekly level here, golden pocket. And then you can see if you flip back another long to target the bigger golden pocket. Or if this does play as just a finished wave 2 and we break down after that. But I think there's decent probability of reaching this area. It's just value are high, that's a bit in between. But for now, I don't really know where is gonna be that fib, because I don't know where the low right now. If it go much lower, well, in that case, we are almost in the, you know, if we continue to drive down towards the 24,300 low next target here, in that case, we almost have a valid wave 5, right? And so if we have enough liquidation, a negative funding, which I think it's kind of probable if we come here and then we hold this, in that case, that's going to be more so long again, and I don't know. Maybe I could see the high get taken again. I mean, there's this 200 daily, but that might be the emotional level that we need to trigger liquidity. I want to emphasize again on that. You know, for a confirmation of a reclaim, you need to have at least 2-3 day close above, serious close above, and a retest, successful retest, and again to close above. So it's kind of a really longer time frame perspective for that. We can come back to challenge that level quite often and close a bit above, a bit below many times, right? But in the ID, or now, it's like a nice resistance that I think it's better we don't. So maybe if we finish 5 here, we still come back, that give us a bit more leg to come back to the monthly at that point. Straight to retrace as either wave B or 2. But that's my preferred, yeah, that's my preferred level of interest. Lower time frame, it's above 26.4, below 25, 200. Higher time frame, slightly higher, like a 4-hour time frame. It's gonna be the 27,200. A golden opportunity if we make an SFP of the 27,630. Yeah, 24,300, 23,130, 22k. Well, repeating a lot the same levels, but again, see, things are not quite that easy right now. It's expectable. It's kind of what we want to see. So with my trick in mind, I'm trying to get as much tricky count possible in advance that makes sense and that's not too obvious. That's a lot of things to consider here, making it too simple. Let's take a look here. Oh, what happened here? Bitfinex is getting into the short. That short growing up on Bitfinex? Yeah. Big short on Bitfinex here. How big? How much is it? 680 on margin spot. That's quite significant. That said, I did not necessarily have the best call. It's maybe just a double head. I don't know what the fuck they are doing there. But as much half on the long side. Slightly increasing the shorts. But yeah, premium is diminishing here. Maybe to a sold condition. Binance still trying to hold everything up. Still trading at premium everywhere. I think it's the case, right? 25. Yeah, like basically a 20 $30 premium next on the Binance still, including TUSD, USDT, BUSD, the stables. But that's nothing really worth mentioning because it's still the same all the time. And of course, it's hard to get dollars out of Binance. So you pay a premium on Bitcoin. Oh yeah, I should have. Why is it gone as well? This should have had this on the chart. Or maybe it's on the other one. I know I have too many charts. So where is my item frame? Okay, that's the one. Yeah, I should have started with that, right? Because of overall, what this item frame chart tells us is that we are aiming toward 2300. We trade at the monthly level during half of the day, and we ended up bulking down and closing significantly below at the end of the day during the yesterday, the last day of the month. And so that's quite significant in the sense that, well, if the market is able to hold this as support for the close while it shows some kind of relative strength, resilience, but that close significantly below in just a few hours before the close, it's kind of show weakness and lost the monthly. While you look for the next monthly, right? You have also your little order block pin bar here, just around the same level. It looks like we are aiming toward it. Right? It doesn't have to be straight to it. Maybe we come back, retest that monthly again. That's why it is on the chart and remain in a nice level again to keep in watch. But yeah. And we have confluence with most exchanges have the same VWAP here, I think. Because it is the same on USD. No, it's not the same here. Right now we are okay. So on spot exchange and the aggregated one right now we have the anchor VWAP, just aligning with that monthly. Gonna come into confluence into a few trend lines here, more or less. A bit of a box here. It's really where is most matters. It's just a bit too low to go there straight down from that price action. Oh, here we go. We took the low. But yeah, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. Or maybe we go into an ending diagonal and we get a lot of overlap and fair close. back close in the sense of short to 3, 4, and 5, you know, and you're going kind of diagonal like this. Will make sense. Of this kind of price action. Drive down, but not straight down. Anyway, I think that's gonna be all for today. Yeah, I need to go buy some grocery. I didn't. Yeah, and it's gonna close in a not so long, so I need to go right now. That doesn't look great at the low again. We have growing volume here, but there is probably some kind of liquidation that have been reached. We can bounce again. Just that it can keep doing that for the evening, I guess. I don't think I'm gonna attempt too much more long for now until Sunday or Monday. So thanks for joining in, guys and girls. Appreciate you all. I hope that was an interesting live stream. I hope you had a good week of trading nonetheless, and that you have a lot of other great weeks of trading ahead of you. And in the meantime, don't forget to take care of yourself. Be safe, and I see you all very soon. Thanks again, and bye for now. Good week.